trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
What you want to do? What you want to do? You from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from here.
All right, so. Oh, hell, y'all, let's go. What's up with you?
I've already made my peace with it, because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out.
The whole world ain't just watching, it's holding its breath. King Harris, T.I.'s son, is fighting for his life in an ICU after what insiders say was one of the most brutal, calculated prison attacks anyone's seen. This wasn't a regular brawl behind bars. It felt like a setup pulled from the darkest parts of the rap game. Picture it. Machines hissing, monitors beeping, his chest barely rising, under tubes and wires while his family waits helplessly behind the hospital glass. He's not just another inmate now, he's the center of a storm that's rocking the streets, the media, and the music world fans. Flooded the Atlanta hospital with candles and prayers. Social media exploded. Pray for King and Yar Justice for King went global inside. But under those hashtags was something scarier. This looked planned, not random. Sources say it was a straight-up hit meant to silence him even. Weirder, prison cameras that record 24/7 reportedly went black the moment the attack happened. No footage, no record. That silence speaks loud, a leaked nurse. Recording made the rounds online. Two, with her whispering, "This wasn't random, this was a setup, someone wanted him gone."
Son, think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas? His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison.
Those whispers spread like wildfire, fueling the theory that King Harris wasn't just another victim of prison violence. He was targeted. But the million-dollar question remains. Why? Who wanted King erased? Some say he uncovered secrets behind bars, dirty guards, contraband, pipelines, corruption buried deep. Others believe this wasn't even about him at all, but about his father. TIA, warning shot to prove that fame, money, and power don't mean protection when you're up against forces bigger than the system. Then there's the darkest theory. This wasn't politics, it was personal. A hit ordered from the outside, carefully arranged, so King would be caught where he was most vulnerable. The Harris family, once untouchable, now looks like the target of an orchestrated takedown. Tiny, his mother, collapsed in the hospital hallways, screaming, "Why my baby? Why him?" Her pain, caught on camera, turned this tragedy into a global heartbreak. Meanwhile, T.I. has been seen shattered. Stripped of his mogul confidence, cameras caught him outside the ICU, tears streaming as he cried, "I don't care about justice, I just want my boy to live." That raw plea broke millions of hearts, but while the family drowns in grief, suspicions rise. Whistleblowers claim prison staff were told to look the other way. The cameras didn't malfunction, they were turned off. If that's true, it means the very people sworn to uphold justice actually opened the door to murder. Inside the ICU, every second is torture. Doctors warn the next 24 hours are critical. Each beep of the monitor sounds like a countdown every minute, a reminder that life could vanish in an instant. And yet the question still hangs in the air. Why was King targeted? Was it corruption? Industry beef? Revenge against T.I.? The theories keep stacking, but the truth remains hidden. One thing's for sure, this is no longer just a prison story. This fight wasn't just about fists. It was about betrayal, power, and the ugly price of fame. By the time night dragged into morning, Atlanta was already drowning in chaos. Crowds outside the hospital grew from dozens to hundreds, transforming into candlelight vigils, prayer circles, and raw protests demanding answers. Fans sobbed into cameras. Some screamed at prison officials, accusing them of failing to protect a young man in their custody. A viral clip captured one furious fan yelling, "Y'all protect criminals, but you couldn't protect a child in your care." Moments summed up the rage flooding the streets. To the people, the system didn't just fail. King Harris, it betrayed him. Inside the hospital, the nightmare only got darker. Leaks suggested doctors told Tiny and T.I. that King's brain activity was weakening. He wasn't brain dead, but the chances of permanent damage, speech loss, paralysis, memory problems were sky high. That news broke his mother. Tiny collapsed in tears, screaming, "They wanted to kill my baby. They wanted to destroy us." Her pain echoed through the halls, captured on phones, and spread across the internet within hours. Then came another gut-wrenching moment. "I had to be escorted out of the ICU after breaking down shouting, 'If my son don't make it, the world's going to burn.'" Those words hit the internet instantly. Some saw them as a grieving father lashing out, but others wondered, was he hinting that he already knew who was behind this? Speculation exploded when an alleged inmate recording leaked online. In the audio, a shaky voice claimed, "We were told to make it look like a fight, but the target was King. They wanted him down no matter what." Authenticity is still in question, but the clip went viral in minutes, igniting fury worldwide. If real, it confirmed the darkest fear. This wasn't prison chaos, this was a hit job disguised as a brawl. Some point to rival gangs inside the facility. Others whisper about enemies from T.I.'s past, pulling strings from the outside. Either way, the message is chilling. King Harris wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was the chosen target. And just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, another bombshell dropped. Unconfirmed reports claimed King briefly. He flatlined during the night, and doctors frantically brought him back. Cameras outside captured the aftermath, Tiny screaming uncontrollably, T.I. on his knees begging God to take his life instead. The clip of T.I. crying, "Lord, take everything. I own just don't take my boy," shattered the internet and turned this family tragedy into one of the most public heartbreaks hip-hop has ever seen. Overnight, Ishrair King trended worldwide, but alongside the prayers came darker conspiracies. Some fans called it karma. Others said it was revenge. A few even claimed the Harris family was cursed. One cryptic Instagram account posted, "The sins of the father fall on the son." This was never about King, it was about T.I. The account disappeared fast, but screenshots circulated, pushing speculation into even more dangerous territory. Celebrities piled on, turning grief into a circus. Rappers and producers flooded timelines, some blaming the prison system, others pointing fingers at enemies of T.I. One high-profile producer tweeted, "When you play with fire, sometimes the flames reach your family." Fans tore that line apart, looking for links to old beefs and wondering if this attack tied into decades-old rivalries. Suddenly, King's tragedy wasn't just about a young man in a hospital bed. It was being tied to grudges, drama, and dangerous alliances that have haunted hip-hop for years. The Harris family battled on every front. Hospital security tightened after online threats. Protesters outside held "Justice for King" signs and shouted at officials they felt had failed him. T.I. stormed out of the hospital at one point, screaming at cameras, "If y'all don't protect my family, I'll burn this whole system down." Myself. Tears and rage had replaced the mogul's usual composure, a father pushed to the edge. That moment went viral, splitting fans between sympathy and fear that revenge was coming. And then came the worst blow. Doctors allegedly told the family. Doctors delivered the unthinkable. If King didn't improve soon, the family would have to consider removing him from life support. Tiny collapsed in the hallway while T.I. exploded in fury. "You don't get to decide when my son's story ends." Their pain spilled into the streets, where supporters chanted louder, candles burned brighter, and social media united in rage. A photo leaked of T.I. gripping his unconscious son's hand, whispering, "Daddy's right here, I'm not leaving." That image is already being called the most heartbreaking moment in hip-hop history, but the questions won't stop. Who really wanted King Harris gone? Why were prison cameras allegedly shut off? Was this a message to T.I. from old enemies? Or was King dragged into something bigger than anyone imagined? Inside, the ICU monitors beeped like a countdown. Nurses moved like shadows. Doctors whispered in hushed tones. Outside, the hospital turned into a battlefield of emotions. Fans crying, praying, and protesting all at once. Posters of King's face lit by candle flames rose into the night sky as Atlanta begged for a miracle. Then came another gut punch. Leaked hospital reports revealed King had suffered severe skull trauma, possibly from a padlock hidden in a sock, a brutal weapon often used in prison attacks. Witnesses claimed guards stood by, refusing to intervene until it was too late. To many, this wasn't just neglect, it was intent. It's like they wanted him to suffer, one insider said, and that line spread like wildfire, igniting even more fury at the system. Protesters outside the hospital held signs reading, "The system failed King and protect our kids," accusing authorities of covering up the truth. Suddenly, this wasn't just a fight for King's survival. It had become a fight for justice. And with thousands demanding answers, the storm was only getting bigger. But answers were still missing. Officials stayed silent, refusing to explain how something like this could happen. And then came another devastating blow. Doctors privately warned the Harris family that even if King survived, he might never recover. Brain damage, paralysis, a lifetime of pain. Tiny's cries echoed through the corridors as she collapsed into the arms of her daughter T. I looked like a man on the edge storming past cameras, his voice trembling but his eyes burning with fury. "If y'all don't protect my family, I'll tear this whole system down." That raw anger went viral instantly. To some, he was a father broken beyond repair. To others, he was a man ready for war with the same forces that tried to destroy his bloodline. His pain became the world's pain. His fight became bigger than one family's tragedy. Social media exploded with speculation. Some blamed revenge for T.I.'s old beefs. Others whispered about powerful industry figures pulling strings. The darkest theories claimed this attack had been orchestrated years in advance. Then a mysterious rapper posted, "Y'all don't even know half the truth. This wasn't random. This was planned." That one line sent the internet spiraling, fueling endless debates about whether King's attack was hip-hop politics, prison corruption, or something even more sinister. As the day bled into night, Atlanta became a city of prayers. Vigils burned brighter, crowds swelled larger, and the calls for justice grew louder. Inside, the Harris family was placed under tight security after new threats surfaced. Tiny clung to her son's hand, whispering prayers. I refused to leave the room, bent over King's bed, whispering, "I'm not leaving until you wake up, Daddy's right here." That leaked photo shattered the internet. Fans printed it on posters. News stations broadcast it nonstop. The world saw T.I. stripped bare, not as a superstar, but as a father begging for his son's life. And still the darkest question hangs heavy. Will King Harris survive? Doctors say the next 24 hours will decide everything. If the unthinkable happens, it won't just be the loss of a son. It will be the collapse of a dynasty, the end of an era, and one of the most devastating chapters hip-hop has ever seen. Already whispers of curses, revenge, and betrayal circle, like vultures, and the silence from authorities only makes suspicions louder. Was this really prison violence? Or was it a setup designed to break T.I. through the one person he loves most? The truth may never be fully known, but one fact is undeniable. This story has shaken hip-hop to its core, leaving millions praying for a miracle. So now the Harris family waits, Atlanta waits, the world waits. Will King Harris open his eyes and fight back from the edge? Or will this tragedy mark the night hip-hop lost a prince forever? Whatever happens, this is no longer just about one boy in a hospital bed. This is about corruption, betrayal, and a family being tested in the harshest way imaginable. And all fans can do is stand with them, pray, and hope. The next headline brings light instead of darkness.